Welcome to Tuesday at 7. It is drizzling here in October of 2025, but we wanted to start outside anyways, and I'm going to have to wipe off my glasses. But the reason why we want to start off in the back is there's been some collaboration going on here.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? The amount of collaboration we got to put that wall together, and Roger was so instrumental in that. You brought Tessa LeBaron to us. And you did a video with her and some of her work. And I reached out to her and I said, do you have an interest in helping us with that back wall? And she just jumped on it immediately. It's truly amazing. And then we got Lowe's and Wadsworth to donate all the paint. We got Janie, somebody that's very influential in that part of town, to introduce us to so many people. Michael Reynolds, one of our board members, is one of the first persons to say, hey, we can help with that. And we got this painted within about 4 days. We had some volunteers help do the base coat on it. Tessa came out, painted all the stencil one evening. And as we were doing it, we could see the entire community coming together and gathering around. People would start watching. The mayor stopped by, took a picture of it with her, and he posted that on the mayor's site. Really exciting to see what she's done. And we have some more things for her to do. So that's really cool.
Yeah. So if you're not aware, we are here in the back parking lot, and this is going to be full in the next few days. We're gonna share a couple of those little teasers. Absolutely. But we're here in the back parking lot of Serenite.
Serenite Restaurant and Culinary Institute, which is the workforce development component of the Recovery Center of Medina County, which is the little building you see right next door to you. But we've been under a fair amount of renovation. We're getting ready to have some new roof work done. So you'll see some construction stuff here and around, but completely redid the inside. The kitchen's redone. We have an executive chef now. We have a general manager. We've had one dinner seating already. And this week coming up, we're opening up Thursday, Friday, Saturday to the public. That's a sneak peek announcement that we're literally inviting the Roger Miller fan base group to come out for these 3 days. The service is going to be roughly from 6 to 9 o'clock time frame. You can probably come at 5 o'clock, get some drinks, sit at the bar, and enjoy the, we call it the exquisite cuisine of our chef, Nico Corre. So it's really kind of neat. But let's take a tour. We'll go inside and see the improvements that we've made.
Beautiful work for Tessa and the group that came together to collaborate on that.
Yeah, it's this whole project, and we'll talk more inside because I want everyone to hear this, but this whole project has been a collaboration, and the people that I learned how to collaborate from, it's just amazing in Medina County.
Last time we were here, the weeds had just been chopped down next door. You could hardly recognize the building, and if you missed our long form introduction, it was kind of vision creating. That was months ago, but 15,000 people watched that interview because there's special interest in this program, this restaurant, this mission, this community focus, and certainly addiction recovery.
Yep.
Give us a 10,000 foot view for those who may have never heard about.
Sure. So the Recovery Center of Medina County is in collaboration with Hope Recovery Community for our Culinary Institute program. Substance abuse disorders affect so much of our population in Medina County and all over the United States that years ago the court developed a program where we would take folks in recovery, train them in a culinary setting that allows them to become chefs, back of the house cooks, front of the house servers, managers, every aspect of the restaurant. So we actually shut down in February, and you guys were here at some point after that to kind of restructure the entire program. And we come back to that collaboration component. One of the first things I did when I became the president is I went to the Medina County Career Center and I talked to Steve Chrisman, because he's just an amazing individual that's in contact with everybody. And I said, what do we do? What's the first step? Where are you going to send me today? And he just started lining up people for me to see. Not to ask them. We'd had no money, by the way, at the time. But not to ask them for money, to ask them for, what do we do? What do you want to see in a true recovery program? What were we doing right? What were we doing wrong? And all of a sudden, he set me up with leadership Medina County, Medina County Economic Development Corporation, Mayor Hanwell and Kimberly Marshall from the City Economic Development Corporation, Steve Hamley, and a whole nother group of leaders in our community to help us rebuild this program. Truly a community effort to get us to where we are today. And during this entire process, we changed the way the entire program works to make it more effective, to make it more true of a culinary institute, so that when someone leaves here from our program after 1 year of training, they have a culinary degree, so to speak. It's accredited by the American Culinary Federation. The Culinary Institute's been completely separated from the restaurant. It is literally upstairs with its own culinary kitchen, its own dedicated culinary instructor. They go through roughly 6 months. We start 6 people at a time that will run roughly 6 months long. And then after they have that culinary base, they can start to work their way down into the kitchen, never as employees, always as students, and they're paid very well. Their day starts at 9 o'clock in the morning, ends at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it is broken up with all kinds of stuff. Hope Recovery is a major component and partner of ours, and they have a program they've developed specifically for us called Hope Plates. And Stephanie Robinson has just been, all of this, I believe, is inspired by God. I mean, truly, Jesus had I get up every morning and I say, this is what I need to happen. This is what we want to see happen. And by the end of the day, all those needs are met. And Stephanie's one of those that really came to the table, said, I'm ready. Let's get this going. And just built out an amazing program for the students that are going to be in the program. We haven't started yet because before you can bring students into the school, you got to build the school. That's what the restaurant is. The restaurant runs solely and independently of the Culinary Institute. As we build up the Culinary Institute and get that program running, those students will start to work their way down into the restaurant, get training, front of the house, back of the house, and then they graduate. And we have a ceremony with the mayor. So many parts of the program that we've changed, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but so many parts of the program to better equip them, not just for a career, but for a long road of recovery, building the entire community around them. Every day we get together with the executive chef, and we have about 6 people now working. Servers, bartenders, bar managers, we call them, back of the house, preps, cooks. We get together and we talk about what the family is and how we're a different organization than other restaurants. We need the family to be able to be cohesive together. And when one of the family members has a problem, we stop. We stop everything we're doing. We talk about it. If there's an issue, if there's a problem today, someone's having an issue, that's not common in other restaurants. And I love that we have the flexibility to do that. And by having a restaurant that runs independent of the Culinary Institute, that enables us to be able to stop because the rest of the restaurant doesn't have to stop. They can still function. Last Friday, we had our first opening night, a test night, so to speak. It went off very well with a little few bumps in the road. It's a brand new family, right? So everybody's kind of getting to know what they're doing, a little understaffed. But we had insiders come to test it, meaning those were our patrons, and we got great reviews. This week, we're opening up Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're going to invite the Roger Miller fan base to be our guests to come out, try the restaurant. There'll be some reduced pricing on things. We are a French restaurant, quintessentially French, but we have other European items on the menu. We don't have a lot of French items on the menu right now, but our chef came out of Southern Florida, has a huge background in culinary from Vegas to New Orleans to Denver, and then Southern Florida is back here. He was born and raised here in Cleveland and fairly well known in our parts. So we're glad to have him back home. He's glad to be back up here. But he brings an entirely different, eclectic group of recipes, and we're trying all of them. We're going to see what fits, what doesn't fit. We're uniquely Medina County. And, if you remember the pictures that were on the wall previous years, they were all French pictures. And this lovely young lady behind me, Brooke from Brooklyn Media, took all the pictures. So what we decided to do this year, or the rebirth of our program, is to have Brooklyn take pictures of all Medina County, uniquely Medina landmarks and that type of stuff. And she's going to be taking those pictures, putting them on the wall. And I think there'll be duplicates of all of them, like 2 pictures, and people can buy them. We're kind of using it as like a, what do you call that?
My own personal gallery.
Yes, your
I'm
own
so
personal
excited to be
gallery.
back.
But Brooklyn, again, she was in leadership Medina County, takes all the pictures and photographs for them. I see you at almost every single event we do. Tonight was just a happenstance. She's like, hey, I'm swinging by. I see the lights on. I'm going to pop in and blah, blah, blah. And here we are. Great opportunity to introduce her and what we do. But,
Well, if you have never joined a Tuesday at 7 episode, we are hoping that folks will hit that share button. In the very bottom left-hand side of your screen, there is an arrow. When you hit that share button, Facebook will prompt you to what to do next. Share it to your friends. You can share it to a group. You could share it to individuals who may be touched by the mission of addiction recovery. Maybe they love the whole idea of good food. I think that it's culinary arts,
yes.
right? And so the whole art of putting something that looks great, tastes great on a plate, and allowing people to build community while experiencing that taste, that art, is something that I know is going to speak to many people here. But here's what we're going to do. If you share, and what we're going to do is we're going to draw a name, and if your name is drawn, Tuesday at 7 is going to buy a couple appetizers, we're going to buy 4 drinks. So we're going to do that, and we'll make sure that there's incentive here to hit that share button as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Also, I want to mention our general manager, Ray Lamarca. He's a local Medina person. He's been in the food and hospitality industry most of his life up here. He's down at Playhouse Square at a number of those organizations. Truly brings the same vision that we have for decorating. This looks completely different than the last time you guys were in here. And there's a reason for that. We wanted to update it. We wanted to make it brighter. We wanted to make it a little bit more modern while still keeping with that beautiful French theme.
And if somebody were to try to like pin this, what's the street that we're on here?
This is a West Liberty.
West Liberty.
And the address specifically here is 538 West Liberty. I tell people we're in between Corkscrew, which is one of our favorite restaurants down the street, and Friends and Partners, and the Square. We're dead like in between the two.
There is something special, I believe, about Medina.
Oh my God!
There's support. People come together for causes. It's a feels I call it it's an artsy fartsy community, which I absolutely love. I mean, you can't turn without seeing the creative space in action.
I think the greatest example of that is the organization called Leadership Medina County, which I'm part of their signature class this year. Every one of the leaders of our town and the entire Medina County, like every single one of them went through the program, and it's 35 years old, the program, but every single one of them went through the program specifically to get guidance and leadership ability to create the community they have. And the number one underlying theme with this class and every previous class was collaboration. It's incredible the amount of all the leaders that get together and they collaborate to help all the different businesses in the organization. We have, I thought it was 120 nonprofits. We have over 1,000 nonprofits in Medina. We have 120 that are pretty active. We have 25 to 30 that are visible on a daily basis. This particular street and all the way up into the square, it's just amazing how many nonprofits that we have that are literally out there helping people day in, day out. We have Kathy's House across the street. We have Cups Cafe further on down. And just so many organizations that work together daily to try to promote each other. That's why I don't mind mentioning every other restaurant in town. Time 2's on our team. There's like everyone, Hunan House. There's so many different restaurants in town that are cheering for us. And the biggest reason why is because we're going to produce these well-trained, well-structured individuals after 1 year that truly will have a good solid base to go work in any restaurant in town.
And it'll be a feeder of well-trained right? People that are passionate about food.
And that's why the Medina County Economic Development is so embracing of what we do, because we're literally taking people, putting them back into the workforce. Right now, there's such a shortage, and there has been for so long, and it's not getting any better. Programs like this, literally supported by the community, help folks get back into the community, buy houses in our town, their kids go to our school, so many things, and it gets me choked up when I talk about it. But just in this last week, we've had 7 people that graduated from our program over the years reach out to say, what are you doing? How can we help? They have full-time jobs. They're in the community. They say, what can we do to help? We want to help you. You guys were great when we were in the program. We want to keep that going. So that's part of our entire Alumni Engagement Hub, which is a program that we'll have on phones as well as on computers, where every day both students and alumni can go into the hub, find out what's going on at the restaurant, what's going on at the recovery center, what's going on at Hope Recovery Community, where they can get involved. If there's job openings, we'll post job openings of all the restaurants in town, not just for ours, but anyone that wants to get into the culinary field. And it's not just culinary. We're also building out a whole cohort of people that want to work in industry. It's a whole nother discussion we're having with the Career Center on trade certifications and getting them into that program. So really a lot of exciting things going on. I just love being a part of it.
We've got a hat at the bar. Walk us up here. Last time that we talked, and we're gonna post that video too. If people want to kind of check out the old one to see what this was, back, was it 6 months ago, 7 months ago?
It probably around that. I was going to say 5 months ago, but
yeah. And
I'll be honest with you, when we did that, we didn't know if we were going to make it. This was literally as an effort of going to all of the different people, sitting down with the mayor, sitting down with the commissioner, and all the people of influence in the town that said, you know what, this has to be saved. We have to come together to save this program. And little by little, there were months we had no money at all, but little by little, money would funnel in. You donated big. We had so many people that donated to help us get to where we are today. And now we are fully recovered and ready to move forward to that next level. So
last week, it is October 2025. So congratulations on reopening. Last week, we were at Royal Scare, which is a home hunt. Paul opens up on October 1st. He runs every single night of October, and it's just families. Walk through the yard, build community that way. We're an eclectic group of artists, and what's
the guy's name that runs
Paul Tylicki.
Okay,
so Royal Scare.
I've seen him on your show.
Yeah, he's only probably 25, 30 minutes from here if you're close, but check out. We'll even make sure that we put the link there. It doesn't cost anything. You take a family, just walk on through. But if you shared that interview last week, there were thousands of people that watched that, and there's thousands of people that watch it all. The couple times we've been there before. But your name is in here if you shared that, and if your name is drawn, you'll have to stop by Royal Scare to pick up the your winnings, because it's a skeleton. And it's a little too big to mail, but you'll have to go and pick up your skeleton yourself. But Tony, go ahead and pick the winner there.
I got one.
Yeah. You got one?
Right. So I can't read that.
You can't read that?
I don't have my readers on.
Let me see here. I'm sure that, this is what happens when you get two older guys. All right. It is Karen. Look at that. Mancada. She's never won.
No.
Congratulations, Karen. We'll encourage you to stop by Royal Scare to pick up your, I think it might be a full-size skeleton, but thank you, Paul, for the interview. And congratulations, Karen, on your win. I'm going to set this over here. But again, if you share this interview, every single time that somebody hits that share button, it goes to 100 more people. And so if we get 30 shares, it goes to 3,000. If we get, just do the math, and the word gets out fast just by hitting that share button. So we appreciate you sharing.
And I'll add something to Roger's generous donation on this one. I'll personally donate 2 creme brulees, which are absolutely amazing here, to go along with what Roger has offered as well.
We and I know last time, right? Because the question raised in my mind, and that is this a dry, and we know we're sitting from the bar, we know the answer to that, but do they serve alcohol here, and what is the rationale with
Absolutely, absolutely. So there's many different ways to think about it, and I love talking about the subject. If we're training truly culinary folks to work in the culinary industry, there's not many places that you can go that don't have alcohol in their facility. So if they're going to be working in those places, they need to be taught how to be around it without those type of triggers. Now, if they're too sensitive to alcohol, and that's something their caseworkers let us know, and their peer support people, this is probably not the program for them. The culinary industry in whole is not the program for them. Now, there's lots of opportunities in the culinary world in the back of the house where you're not constantly exposed to that. One of the things we originally thought is that we would lock the whole thing up like a cage at nighttime. We don't need to do that. What we need to do is have responsible management and understand the needs of the students that are in the program and to monitor the ones that may be sensitive to that. Maybe they don't need to be working in the front of the house. And that's something that they literally have to determine between themselves and their caseworker and their family. It's not for everybody. There's, any restaurant you go to, you're going to have this. If you walk into a 7-Eleven, there's alcohol. Chipotle now serves alcohol. And that's just normal. That's just normal life. But cognitive training, and I don't know all of the recovery sensitive verbiage that Hope Recovery is going to be training us, because they are dedicated to giving us quarterly training, the entire staff, quarterly training on recovery sensitive, all kinds of recovery education, as well as our board of directors on an annual basis, so that we're smarter at how we talk about it. And I'm not smart about how I talk about it, but I am very passionate about it. It's something that's very near and dear to my heart, and most people know somebody or are personally involved with folks in recovery. So, my advice to you is the best way to support us is to come eat at a restaurant. Give us your review. Tell us what you think of what you're getting, the whole experience, not just that. Folks in the back of the kitchen are in recovery. Folks in the front of the house serving you are in recovery. And we want you to experience that full, there's a word for it that doesn't come to mind because, again, I'm not recovery knowledgeable yet. But it's quite an experience to watch folks. This is the only restaurant that we know of where folks that work here never have to hide who they are. And that is so important to so many people. And it's very effective because people tip huge here, and that's what we want. That's what supports our program. And we'll also have places where people could donate QR codes, because we are literally, the restaurant can only support a certain amount of the programming that we do here. So we rely on grants. We rely on private donations. And the way things are going in the world today, we want to rely on less on grants and government and more on, this is our community. We have to take care of our own people. That's why we're reaching out to corporate America for sponsorships. You can sponsor a room. You can sponsor a student. We have all kinds of needs. And because we were shut down for 6 months, we have equipment needs that we still don't have. We'll get by, but we still have equipment needs that in order to run 100% effective, that, if a corporation gets in front of me and says, how can we help you? I have a whole list of our corporate package, our sponsorship package, how they can get involved, and why that would benefit them. Because there's great benefits to a corporation to get involved with organizations just like us.
It is Tuesday. It is the beginning of October, but you are opening to the Tuesday at 7 community to other community
Absolutely.
Advocates and VIPs this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yep.
Now, Beth peeked at a menu. Would it be out of a little bit out of source to peek at this menu?
Oh, please, by
all
all
right,
means, yeah.
Beth, what do you? And Tony, as you were talking about this is going to be a menu that evolves, right? Based upon, the demand, the wish, the suggestions of your clientele, right?
And this is just a sample menu right here. We're keeping it very small because we're getting the family used to how things work in this kitchen and how our amazing chef has brought them all together. The menu will be expanded tremendously, but here's what I have to tell you. Of the stuff that I try, one of the funnest things that I've got to do is watch this chef over the last month and a half build out each recipe, work with I call them students. They're not students. They're actual employees in the back of the house, and create these amazing tasting things. Now, I liken myself as a pretty good cook. I do a little bit here and there, but you really get respect when you see not just what the food tastes like, the textures, the way it's laid out on the plate, but how they make it in the back and how they make it for a restaurant. We can do anywhere between 80 to 130 covers a night here in just these 2 dining rooms. How they orchestrate that so seamlessly, to me, it's just fascinating. They call that the dance in the back of the kitchen, but the front of the kitchen the front of the house is just as important as the back of the house. And Ray LaMarca has just done an amazing job with training the servers, starting to work with them. The manager is a very experienced manager behind the bar. And really kind of, to me, I'm like in a playground right now getting to watch all this happen. And like I said, I thought I could do some pretty good cooking, but when I watch this guy, I'm like, wow. And the taste of his stuff. He has shrimp that tastes like lobster. I don't know how he does it, but they taste like lobster, and it's all his technique that does it. But I encourage anyone to get try the shrimp appetizer because it's absolutely incredible, truly.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 6 to 9. If you arrive here a little bit early, you can belly up and try a signature cocktail and get to know. I think there's something about community, right? It's not only am I going to sit down, but it's who am I sitting next to, right? And I want to say, I think that sometimes the word social is used too much, but that is what we're experiencing. It's a social experience.
I think on the front of our building it says social parlor.
Yeah.
1858. It's
I think
the
that's
third
right.
oldest building left in Medina. That's because they had a bunch of fires back in the early days. But another thing, though, and we'll end with this, is that the amount of wine that we have, the collection of wines that we have, is not rivaled by anybody. We have a huge amount that we have collected over the years, and we're going to start going through a lot of those. You're going to get some amazing deals on some amazing bottles of wine. We're not talking the regular stuff with the screw-off caps. But truly, our collection of wine is extraordinary, and I think it's time we start going through some of that stock. So we're going to be offering some amazing little, like you buy these dinners, you can get a bottle of wine type of thing. We don't have that yet. The general manager is still going through the pricing and trying to figure out what he wants to do with that. But we really want to be able to offer some really nice quality wines at a very affordable price immediately when we open up, as well as we can go many, many months into the future and offer the same type of thing.
Last time we were here, we had a chance to go upstairs. Mm-hmm. We're going to attach our long-form interview back here, and we walk through these rooms, and there's been a lot of work done here too. Let's walk us into this other.
Upstairs, we're currently under construction, so we're not going to go up there. But down here, brand new carpeting, and again, this is, I reach out to our community and I say, hey, we have a need. Look at the carpeting. We can't reopen with this. It was 10 years old, I believe, and we had a number of people reach out. They were able to put us in brand new carpeting for almost nothing out here because we had a lot of people come together and say, hey, let's do this for them. This entire room was repainted. That entire room was repainted, all by a number of people that just want to help. They don't want anything out of it. They just come. They're like, what can we do to help? And we've had plumbers, we've had electricians come in, all work for free. But it's an amazing guy that just came in and redid the ladies' bathroom, and he wouldn't take anything for it. Even even parts. And I think we had to force him to take material money, Jerry Rice. But, you know, that's very common out here. People just really want to help.
Yeah.
And we're getting ready to start working on the Culinary Institute upstairs. That will become the feed kitchen. They run at a completely different time frame. It'll be the feed kitchen for downstairs. And we'll have a lot of needs up there. We need some smart boards. We need classroom type setting. We need some tables. So we'll be reaching out to the community and giving people opportunity to get involved with that type of stuff, as well as some manual labor stuff we need up there. Just amazing watching the community, everybody wanting to get together and help. And I think it's because they had such a nice experience when they came to the restaurant. My wife and I would come here on a regular basis because it's just so enjoyable. You got when you walked in, half the people you knew from in and around town. That's why we always enjoyed coming, because you always felt like you were at someplace very, very familiar. It's not a huge restaurant. It's very intimate. We have, as you can see, table seating for 8 or 10 at one time, and then some bigger tables and a lot of smaller tables, but really a fun place to come. And although we've been known as a special occasion destination, we want people to be more open to coming when it's not a special occasion destination. And yes, I promise you, we'll get rid of these paper vote, whatever we call these, and replace them with something else. They came with the centerpieces, so we had to put them out there. But we've gotten a few comments about, you got to get rid of. Those are the type of things that we're looking for. What are other areas when you come out to dine? Do you like the flavors? Do you like the way it's laid out? Or the portions big? Or the portions too small, too big? All those type of things. We're looking for those reviews, and this is the time, you know, in the next couple of weeks to give us all of that feedback so we can make the changes that we need to make.
What have I forgotten to ask? Beth, is there any questions out there? And is there anything that comes to your mind? Because you were behind that camera a handful of months ago, and this was still in process. And maybe just, you know, barely crossing, well, I don't want to say, because I know that there's a lot of work, but you were somewhere between the starting line and the finish line. You're probably closer to the starting line at that point.
We were absolutely, I mean, honestly, we did not know if we would be able to. It costs a great deal of money to run an operation like that, even when it's shut down.
Yeah.
We own the property, but there's mortgage, there's electric. Insurance is a big one on an operation like this. And again, with the collaboration of our community and the guidance of so many of the leaders that I went to, they're like, have you thought about this? And have you thought about that? I'm like, oh my God, great idea. And we were able to take advantage of all of those to the point where today we can open. We have to give so much credit to the court system, the probation court system specifically. They're the ones that started the program back in 2018. They're still involved with the program today, giving us guidance, giving us wisdom, giving us money to operate the program. But one thing that should be very clear to everybody, this restaurant, Serenite restaurant, only exists for the Recovery Center and for the mission of recovery. The Culinary Institute is the workforce development component of that. The restaurant itself is where we train those students, we employ those students, and then send them out on their way. And the mission is so strong here, and that's why if you come on a Friday, Saturday night, the door it's filled. There's a line out the front door, because there's something that happens when you come here and you eat. You get that feeling. And we don't have all of our placards up on the wall yet that talk about the mission, the program, the success stories. We have some of the most amazing success stories that folks that trained here and that have left here and that are literally leading restaurants in our community and outside of our community. So it's really kind of cool to be a part of that. And when you come here and eat and you embrace yourself in that, you really feel it, which I just absolutely love. But Serenite's really something special for Medina County, and I'm looking forward to. I won't be here all the time, but I look forward to greeting y'all and inviting you in. But please come out and dine with us. Give us your feedback, and I think you're going to be very, very happy with what you experience.
I know just from conspiring, right, and getting creatives together, great things happen. And I know that if you haven't been here yet, you know, remember this place, come in and stop in, because as the next many months rolls out, there's going to be other things that go on here. And I know that Alan from Triskel, I know that some of you are doing the artisan farming. I know that there's many other creatives that are involved in here, too many to even talk about now, but that'll be exciting.
Absolutely.
For us to talk about in the future. Beth, do you have?
What is going to be the most direct way for people to donate, to volunteer themselves?
Our website. So for volunteering, that would be directly contacting me. But you can always, my link's on the website. You can always go right to our website. That's where you're going to make all of your reservations for dining. That's where you submit applications to be part of the program, which will eventually get directed to Hope, because they're going to be running a big portion of that program. But yeah, our website, serenityrestaurant.com, will have all of that information. It's currently under construction, but there's links in there that you can go to that talk about the program that are accurate. And there should be by tomorrow a link to actually make reservations. For the next 3 days, the next 2 weeks, you don't need to make reservations. Just come on out.
If you share and your name is drawn 1 week from today, you're going to get 4 drinks from Tuesday at 7. You're going to get 2 appetizers, and you're going to get creme brulee to finish it off.
2 creme brulees, absolutely.
Hopefully we'll draw your name next week. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting? So, I mean, sometimes I'm like, there are so many amazing people here, right? I mean, we've walked by folks that although they're not being interviewed, they're so necessary.
Absolutely,
in this
absolutely. So my role is the president of the board, but my wife is just she puts up with it. I mean, literally the amount of hours I do, but she's responsible for so much that we've done inside here. And truly, her heart is in the program, and she has you can see her touch everywhere you look around this restaurant. But yeah, got to give her thanks and recognize her.
Yeah. Well, we can see your heart for the program. We can see your heart for Medina County. We can see your heart for the creatives, and we appreciate you allowing us to celebrate the reopening again this week.
And I also appreciate you. I mean, you guys truly, the amount of viewers that we had and the amount of notices and people that reached out to us as a result of Roger Miller and his beautiful wife, Beth, doing this on a regular basis, not just here, but in the entire art community. And now the, what do you call the Halloween community?
The
Ghoul community.
The Ghoul community.
Right. And I believe today is the full moon, right? So what it's a harvest moon. I know last night was visible. I think today is the actual moon.
Yeah.
But I'm so appreciative of you guys so much. You're awesome. And great friends, too.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us today. Please feel free to come get a kind of a sneak peek, some input into the menu this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And we'll pick the big winner next week. And then Victor, who won the meals months ago, we hope you join us this weekend as well.
Yeah, awesome.
We appreciate you guys joining. See you next week.
Thank you.